And welcome back. Of course, for those of you on Pulse 89.5 FM, hey, we are indeed thankful that you chose us. All right, so we're talking University Fair. And to welcome our guest, we have Mr. Michael Barrera. It is Spanish. Barrera.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And of course, he's Deputy Public Affairs Officer of the U.S. Embassy in Trinidad and Tobago. Yes?
That is correct.
Also, Miss Esther Jones, Managing Director, Study Abroad Student Services.
Study abroad student
Study
services.
abroad.
That's right.
All right, so let's talk about studying abroad. What was the idea behind bringing the university here, bringing the whole idea of this initiative? Talk to us.
It was really important that Tobago would have equal opportunity, the same opportunity and exposure that Trinidad often has. And we felt good that our network of universities, you know, within our Study Abroad Student Services network, they were also very interested and wanted to be part of this. And so we're happy to be here sharing this moment in history for
All right,
Tobago.
we'll talk about the particular university, but
Sure.
in general, we leave these shores and we go to varying universities in the United States. All right, so tell us, Mr. Barrera, yes, about the initiative and the undertaking from the U.S. Embassy. What involvement is there?
Sure. So the college fair, the large college fair, we've done for 17 years already. As a matter of fact, it is our largest outreach event when it comes to study abroad in the United States. That's always been done in Trinidad and Port of Spain because of resources, because that's where the focus has been. However, every year we've been asked, hey, when are you coming to Tobago? Why don't you do something in Tobago? And we have to, you know, politely decline and say, look, our resources, we just don't have it because we do all of this coordination, but it's only in Port of Spain. And Esther has taken it upon her shoulders. Actually, this is really her initiative. Had it not been for her championing this cause, it wouldn't exist. So this is the first year that she's starting with institutions, bringing them down. They're going to be traveling also in Port of Spain this weekend for our college fair. And because of her hard work, that's why we're here supporting her. She actually made that dream happen for a lot of people here on Tobago.
Esther, tell us why you have this love for reaching out to us here in Tobago. Where did that come from? Are you part Tobagonian? Tell us how did it come about in the first place?
I'm a full-blooded Trinidadian and Tobagonian.
Right, good. Trinidadian, right, good. But tell us about Tobago's, why Tobago?
I've always had an interest in understanding why some persons would have the limelight and others may possibly be sidelined. And I always sought to understand why that was the case. I believe also that understanding the relationships that exist between something like, well, with our two islands, Trinidad and Tobago, historically, things have been a little bit, you know, interesting. And I think now in 2018, it's a perfect opportunity, but this has been on my heart for at least 2 years that this is going to happen.
Right.
And so at the end of 2016, I said it's going to be 2017, and I went, okay, not 17, but definitely 18.
All right, we have had a number of young people studied abroad.
Yes.
And you name it, from Yale to Harvard, and I could stay within Harvard, and so on. And a number of people who came out and they went on their own, in some cases got scholarships. Let's talk about that aspect of it. It's very expensive to go to any university colleges in the state. You have to pay for rent and campus fee, what have you. Tell us about what is offered from the embassy standpoint, first of all, and then we'll come to when you do this fair, there are people who are going to ask you, yes, I want to, my son is bright, he's doing what have you, he wants to pursue a particular study, however we can't, we don't have the money. Talk to us about scholarships.
So I think the best person to answer that would probably be Esther, who's done it herself. From the embassy perspective, what our job is to connect these students with these opportunities, connect them with the representatives in the schools, make it as easy as possible to demystify the process, which includes being transparent on student visas, which includes making sure that they're aware and they understand this is the platform, this college fair is basically what we put together so that all of their parents can get their questions answered from the university representatives themselves. But when it comes to study and paying for that study in the United States, Esther is actually an expert, and as a matter of fact, that's why she's going to be assisting us in Trinidad and Port of Spain this weekend as our panel expert on scholarship opportunities. So she would know more than me.
All right, and then we'll come back to the scholarship, the student visas and so on. Talk to us about possibly scholarships, because today, when you have your fair and you're going to tell us where, when, and so on, they are going to ask about that.
Yes, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. There's a quote that I love. There's this particular quote that I love, and it says, "To whom much is given, much is required."
Exactly.
And I really believe in that incredibly. And also having been a scholarship awardee 3 times over.
Really?
3 sets of scholarships.
Which university you attended?
I attended Berkeley College as a start. And
you did music?
Yeah, I did not do music.
What did you do?
There are 3 Berkeleys.
Yes. Okay, all right, okay.
So
I would think automatically it's music.
No, it's fine.
Yes,
it's
good,
fine.
Good.
And then I followed up with 2 master's degrees after that.
Major in what?
The undergrad was international business and trade, and then the first master's was a hybrid between administration and homeland security. And then the second master's was an MBA in marketing.
Okay, so I could now get the link between the embassy and homeland security and so on. All right, let's just go. All right, let's talk a little bit. So the possibility of the visa, the scholarships is there. There is there.
Very much so. Very much so.
Okay.
You have institutional scholarships, and then you have non-institutional scholarships. There are micro scholarships. People think, oh, what's that? They are micro scholarships. That's something that's separate and apart. It's a niche. It's a great niche to explore. And so even through our process with students, because we also have a small school, if you will, but it's a program that we walk students through, and it's a customized roadmap for them to get to that place where they say, oh, this is where I'm going to go. And we have students going as far as Beijing, dual degree of offers, Canada, of course.
Excellent. Well. All right, let's get to the visas, okay? So I want to leave this country. I want to go pursue studies and so on. Sure. Let's talk about who is eligible to get a student visa. What do you look for?
So the most important thing is a student visa to study in the United States. They have to work with the schools and the institutions, and the institutions provide some of the information that is required. But what we look for when they come to the embassy is basically, number one, is this really going to be a student? Is he going to go there, or is she going to go there and do what they say they're going to do? Are they going to do anything illegal there, like work? However, keep in mind there are opportunities to work with the universities. We're not going to get into the weeds on that. But third, do they have the finances? Did they get a scholarship? Do they have family they're going to stay with there as well? Will they be able to pay for this? So working with the universities, that is necessary. And but after that, they still have to qualify on their own. And it has to make sense from a consular perspective.
Wow. So there's a screening that they go through. They have to meet these requirements. Obviously, as you said, can they pay for it? Where are they staying? And so on. There are summer jobs that students do during the summertime. Can an immigrant student access these jobs?
It depends. That's going to be the question that you hear the most. Esther probably has some experience on that as well.
Absolutely. You can.
Well, exactly.
Yes, you can.
Right.
Go for it.
Right.
Yes,
so you
can.
because I know.
Absolutely.
I know within the Cambridge area, students work at summertime and they're going to college. As a matter of fact, the summer job is what bailed them out in some cases.
Listen, once you're on school break, across the U.S. Once you're on school break, you can work up to 40 hours once you're on school break.
Right.
Yeah, you can
have
do
to prove
that.
Yeah.
Well, yes,
your student
you
pass.
have the paper. Yeah, but and there's something called a CPT. There's something called an OPT, and again, those are the weeds that Michael was referring to. So we get into that, and that will happen at the scholarship forum over the weekend in Trinidad. But that information is actually available, and we can share that with the students in Tobago as they ask.
All right, you know what? We could go on and on, but we need to know details. Where is this fair taking place? Time and so on.
Details.
Yes.
Okay, so let me just at least say who the universities will be that will be present. So we're going to have King's University of London, Ontario, Brescia University of London, Ontario. We'll have Trine University of Indiana, USA. We'll have Black Hills State University of South Dakota, USA. We'll have St. Leo University of Florida, USA, and as well as Washington College of Maryland in the US. So we really have happy to have them, and of course, the U.S. Embassy. So we're so happy that they're going to be here.
All right.
And that's going to happen at Pentecostal Light and Life.
Today?
From 9 a.m. to 12 noon, and then from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Because that 12 to 2 break, everyone needs to kind of.
So that's happening today.
That's happening
Light
today.
and Life.
Yes.
Just talk to us quickly about the link with the Light and Life, Pastor.
We were so happy. Light and Life opened their doors immediately, because we had knocked on a few doors, and they moved immediately, and we were excited about that. So we moved forward with them.
Good morning, Pastor Frank. Pastor
yes, correct. Good morning. Yes.
All right, well, I'm very much. This is exciting, and of course, it gives an opportunity for us Tobagonians, students, to get out there.
Please.
Again, and of course, there are so many things. All right, but I want to just get back, as we do have the little time, treating with the embassy and the role that they play, because they can make or break the dream of a youngster who wants to pursue being whatever, studying in whichever faculty, in whichever course they want to take. So the criteria are that you must be able to provide the financial backings, where you're staying, who you're staying with, are you going to stay on campus, how are you going to pay for your rent, and all of that. So let's say they meet all those criteria. So what happens next?
So you said make or break the dream. I have to tell you, we make a lot more dreams than we break.
Then break, okay, fine.
I want to demystify that and get rid of that myth. We approve a lot, overwhelming majority, particularly of student visas, but also tourist visas as well. So our job, again, we want to promote this. This is one of our biggest reasons why we're here. We want to promote study in the United States. If you follow that, then yes, you're on your way to study in the United States. I would highly encourage everybody watching today that you join the fair here in Tobago, but if you can, also come to Port of Spain and see for yourself the college fair there. We're going to have 68 institutions, over 30 plus from the United States, over 20 from Canada, and then local institutions like UTT, UE. There we will also have panel sessions with the consular officers. I'm not a consular officer, I'm a public affairs officer. But the consuls themselves will be on a panel, and you can ask them straight to themselves, hey, what are you looking for? What is it that I see? In addition, Esther's going to be there talking about scholarships and funding opportunities. It's just going to be a great time. If you cannot, and particularly for our Tobago audience and those who cannot make it in Port of Spain, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we will be Facebook Living the session on getting a visa to study in the United States. So make sure that you join our Facebook page. On Facebook, the U.S. Embassy in Trinidad and Tobago, as well as our Instagram and our Twitter. But October 27th, 28th in Port of Spain at the Hyatt. It's absolutely free of charge. No registration is required. You can show up with your families, and it only happens once a year, so it's a great opportunity.
All right, just date for that again?
This weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 27th and 28th at the Hyatt.
I just want to just say that I'm so glad that the U.S. Embassy was able to come today in the person of Michael the entire day. The entire day, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. From 2 to 5 p.m., Michael will be there present.
Great.
2 to 4 p.m. at least.
All right, very good. And of course, that whole, I know that you would be bombarded with questions about funding and accommodation and so on. And in some cases, the necessary mentoring, the necessary support system. Sometimes they go out there, the students, they leave here, they go into a strange world. And the period for adjustment, the initiation and all of that, sometimes they are faced by just their presence there and would lose focus. That type of mentor is very important.
That is something that Study Abroad, our program, we actually do. Study Abroad Student Services. We literally have students in full day programs, gap year students. We have students in the afternoon program. And we work through with scholarship specialists, immigration specialists, mentors. We have career guidance specialists. We have essay writers. And it's a small little army of us that help to support those students on this customized roadmap, because every university major is not created equal. So really helping a student who says they want to do biology or psychology, but that doesn't mean that university is the right fit. So finding the right fit is critical.
Wow. Because
and so we work with the students in that area. and that's why every single student so far in our program has earned multiple acceptances and multiple scholarships. It is critical to find your fit.
Because sometimes they're in transition, just to squeeze this in, and when they are not fit in the right faculty, they do perform and they fall.
They lose that scholarship,
Exactly.
and there's no reason for them to lose it.
Excellent.
So we don't want them to lose it. They earn it, they keep it, and they maximize it, and they go. So Tobago, the time is now. If it is you're ready to stand up and you're ready to move forward in this particular capacity, certainly contact us. You can check out our website, 1SASS.com. That's the number 1SASS.com. That's Study Abroad Student Services.
Very good. All right, Mr. Michael Barrera.
Yes, sir.
Yes, in closing, what would you like to say?
I would just like to thank Esther for doing this. Again, she kind of brought the dream forward, and this is something that I think we're going to try and support also annually here in Tobago, but because we know it's so important, these recruiters who are coming down here in Tobago and then in Port of Spain, they're coming down for all of you, for the students, because they see the incredible talent that exists here, and we invite everybody to come out. We're looking at, last year we had over 4,000 students who came out to the Port of Spain event over the weekend. We expect the same kind of crowd. And then also from the U.S. Embassy, our hearts go out to those who are affected by the flooding, and we sincerely hope that you recover and everything gets fixed shortly. So we want to say that as well.
All right. Just give me one, in closing quickly.
The same thing. One of the things we want to have, we are totally aware of, is over the last 96 hours, it's been life-changing for everyone involved. So we're certainly not not aware and unaware of that. And so for those who they wanted to come and they wanted to make it, there's always another chance. There's always a second chance, and we're looking forward to seeing you whether this time or the next time. And if you need to recover, you just focus on recovery, because we're looking forward to seeing you at another time. So all the best with those who have been affected by the floods in Trinidad.
Right. Last time, date place for this fair today at the Night and Life?
Yes.
Go ahead.
So Pentecostal Light and Life,
Light and Life.
From 9 a.m. to 12 noon and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Just be aware in terms of crowd control, when you do come, there will be a limited period of time. So please be ready to ask your questions. You may not be able to linger as you would like, as it would be in Trinidad, but we'd love you to come. We want you to ask your questions and then to transition out, because there's a team working to help Tobago to really get there.
Excellent.
Yeah? Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
And of course,
a pleasure.
You keep up the good work. And of course, all right. At this point in time, we thank our guests. We go for a break. When we come back, we have lots more for you. See you then.